Alright. Good evening and welcome to SLR Division 2. Or not Division 2, SLR F2. We are here after not racing in Canada, or also racing in Monaco a few weeks before, for that matter. And we are here for the British Grand Prix. It's a very interesting season. Crispy has had the early advantage, although he's not racing. And that potentially could open up things, most importantly, for his two closest challengers of Corey and Darnell. UK Beast Assassin is also not one to be counted out, and so therefore we are looking to have a pretty enjoyable race that should hopefully close the championship up nicely. As it stands, Crispy is the championship leader after round 5 on 148 points. Corey is in P2 on 135, so just a 13-point gap between the two championship leaders, and then Darnell's a further 18 behind. Those three are the only who have exceeded 100 points, and UK Beast Assassin and SLR Jam, both in the Campos cars, they are the next challengers on 89 and 86 respectively. All of these drivers are going to be looking to close the championship lead, and chances are we'll probably have a new championship leader after this round. We're waiting for everyone to put on the setups before coming onto the one-shot qualifying. So yeah, this should be a good watch. The one-shot qualifying always is, because, well, unlike a normal qualifying session, as the name suggests, you just have the one attempt, and that one attempt, it could, if you invalidate it, well, if you invalidate in a full quali or in a short quali, then you can just go into the pits, put on a new set of tyres. If you invalidate in the short qualifying, you'll be starting pretty much stone dead last. It's really easy to invalidate in Silverstone, and with F2, with the grid being set for both the sprint and the feature from qualifying from this season onwards, it makes for a very intense session. As I don't actually have control of my controller. Hang on. Oh, there we are. We're all good. Thank God. Yeah, I'm on board with SLR Corey, and he should be one of the favourites to pole, as he's going through turn 4 now. And Sector 1 split will be coming up pretty shortly. He's done a 30.6, but it looks like the fastest for Sector 1 is going to SLR Darnell. I'll compare their sectors real quick. SLR Darnell's done a 30.4, so Corey's lost a couple of 10s to him. So I'm going to go on board with Darnell, as BRT Griffiths is reasonably up there as well in this short qualifying session so far. This one shot. As Darnell's flinging the car through cops, Corey looks to have gained a bit of time on him, so it's going to be very close to see who gets pole position. Of course, you get 4 points for pole position as Darnell's moving the car through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, making sure he doesn't invalidate on exit. 11.1 through the first two sectors. It was not purple though, so Corey is going quicker behind, so it's going to be very close. It looks like Corey's taken the lead here going into this braking zone, as I can see that they're switching positions just as it's going on. It's so close here, as I'm going to go on board with the current championship P2 runner SLR Corey as he nails the apex in the final corner, coming up towards the line. Who has got pole position? Is it Corey? Is it Darnell? It is SLR Corey by less than half a tenth, and that is very close between the top two there. As Merckx, Southerner, Mash, and potentially Toto Wolff as well are the drivers who have not set a valid lap time and have been disqualified from the session. So first blood to Corey then. As there we go, confirmation of the pole sitter, SLR Corey. He lost a tenth and a half in the first sector, but then went purple, and clinched the pole position from Darnell. Very close there. Yeah, this should be, going by how close qualifying was, should be very, very tight in the race. Should be very, very exciting. 5 viewers in the chat. Yeah. And yeah, let's check the tyres of these people. Oh yeah, they're just going straight away. Yeah. Everyone should be starting on hards, and it is Division who is on reverse grid pole. I completely missed that. Obviously, the bottom 10, the top 10 are flipped. Sorry, so Division is the person in P1. Owen Howe is the person in P2. So the sprint, that's usually when the unpredictable race is, as the feature obviously is just set off the qualifying positions, and the sprint is when people are a little out of position. Perhaps Corey and Darnell, clearly the two quickest in qualifying, are going to have to work their way through the field in the sprint race if they want to score some decent points. Yeah. See if there's anyone taking a risk with the tyres. Nope, everyone's going the hards. It's a pretty simple no-stop race. Drivers got to be focused on making sure that they bring their tyres up to temperature though, as with it being a F2 race, there are no tyre blankets. In F1 there are tyre blankets, but they are set at 70 degrees, which is below the operating window. In F2 you don't have those tyre blankets at all. Instead you just fit the tyres from what they usually start off around about 40-50 degrees, something like that, and then the drivers have to warm them up on the track itself. It makes outlaps very, very tricky in F2. Quite often you see overcuts more than undercuts in Formula 2, and yeah, that makes things pretty interesting. As yeah, personal prediction for this sprint race is it's a difficult one. I think SLR Dodgy is going to be one to look out for. He's usually pretty decent in and around the middle of the top 10, and with a P4 starting position, could potentially have a good race in this sprint. But of course, you're going to be wanting to watch out for the likes of Corey and Darnell, and the likes of Southerner near the back. Can he recover from a very poor qualifying? Only time will tell in this sprint. Drivers are coming up towards their grid spots. The last driver is pulling in of SLR Toto Wolff, and we are going to get going pretty much now. So we are. Lights counted down. The 5 red lights. Be nice if I had a bit of a better camera angle. But the lights are out and we are away, and it looks like Owen's got maybe a slightly better start than Division, but SLR Dodgy absolutely flying from the second row into turn 1. They're trying to go 3 wide there as Owen's been spun there. Owen has been spun from the inside, and Merckx and Evoke have gone off as well, but towards the front it is Jaylee Menz who's made a bit of a gain. UK Beast Assassin's had a massive gain as well, sending it up the inside of SLR Dodgy straight away, as Division is the race leader. 3 of them went 3 wide into turn 1, and 3 into 1 definitely doesn't go into that corner. There's further battles in the midfield. Having a look at SLR Ham, who's trying to make his way through past SLR Dodgy, but he's being fought by BRT Griffiths, who had an excellent qualifying session himself. Qualified P3, already gained 2 positions off the line, and is now tucking in the wheel tracks of the ART driver, as it's very, very close here in the midfield. As looking towards near the front, UK Beast Assassin trying to go around the outside of Jamie Menz into Maggots, Beggots and Chapel, but Menz breaks a bit later there, holds it around the outside, and that is excellent defending by Menz, although Beast has Beast then throws it back at him. There's a yellow flag. I don't know who that was. I think that's Jam. As Beast and Menz are now going side by side, as Ham's there as well. They're going to go 3 wide, are they? Maybe, I'm not sure. They're going side by side, Beast and Menz still. They've been battling from sector 2 pretty much. As Menz gets his elbows out and gets the position. But Beast is not going to give up that one without a fight, because there's another yellow flag. Don't know who that was. I think that's a Vogue. As there we are, Beast gets the position. That was an excellent battle. That was an excellent battle. Pretty clean. They can stay side by side, make a little bit of racing contact, but that's all fine. All's well that ends well in racing. Oh, as Menz has tapped the back of Beast though, and that is not going to be something that Beast is going to be very happy with, as it allows Ham to sneak through and potentially get a move on him. BRT Griffiths also manages to get through whilst that's happening as well, as SLR Darnell was caught up in the lap 1 shenanigans, as here we are from Ham down the inside of Beast. These two fighting very, very hard, as are Corey and SLR Dodgy. As Corey's had a bit more of an understated start from the P10 spot after getting pole position, but is still running very, very well in P6. Oh, this Ham is all over the back of Beast here. Getting on the wheel tracks. He's just basically just pushing him around Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. It does look like Ham has a little bit better pace here at this current moment over Beast, but at the moment cannot make the move. Griffiths may have picked up damage, I'm thinking, as well, because he's not showing the pace that he did in qualifying relative to Ham and Beast, so who knows? Maybe not, as he starts to close in. Might have just made a mistake. It's Griffiths. I can see now that he is pretty much losing the DRS of them. And that's going to be absolutely crucial, as we are now entering lap 3, so DRS will be enabled. Griffith's got to be really careful to try and make sure that he gets it, but he doesn't. Menz will get it behind him, which will allow him to defend from Corey, although he goes very, very defensive here. As further behind, Southerner and Dodgy battling out. Southerner's made up a position, as looking at this, he's gained 8 positions, Southerner, on the opening 2 laps. He's kept out of trouble, and is recovering very, very nicely to pick up a couple of points from his sprint race. As let's have a look, Corey, down the inside of JD Menz, the pole sitter, got a very, very good opportunity to close in on Crispy here, and a very, very good opportunity to pull away from Darnell round the outside here. JD Menz is keeping it on the inside, so he's defending hard. So can Corey hold it around the outside? They're going to go side by side through cops here. Menz breaks a bit later. Corey leaves him the space. Menz also, in return, leaves him the space on exit. And they're still going side by side here. Who's going to be the bravest? Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? It looks like Menz has the advantage, but once again runs a bit wide there. And what this is going to do is allow Southerner to come up. And Southerner with DRS, Corey did not get it because he was ahead of JD Menz at the DRS detection zone. Can Southerner perhaps nip it around the outside of Corey? He's going for it. Oh, he's got to go off track a little bit there. As Corey is leaving him space on the inside, they're still going at it as Para sends it on Dodgy. As the battle is still going on, they're going side by side. As, oh, hello, hello. Hello, hello, what do we have here? We have a battle for the lead. Division has not kept up pace in the race here, and he finds himself right only just ahead of Beast and Ham, although Beast picks up a 3-second time penalty. Can be crucial for his races. He's now got a gap Division instead of just overtaking him. As they're going side by side here, Beast gets the position and moves up into P1. This battle is not over. Beast now has to gap these two behind him, and Ham, with pretty good pace himself, could be spying a pretty decent opportunity to pick up maybe even a win here. Oh, although he taps Division a couple of times. Needs to be a bit patient here, Ham, because Division is going to be very, very Because at the moment, well, obviously Beast is within his penalty window. So what he has to do is just pass Division. And as long as he passes him, then he will get that position. And finish in P1 after Beast penalty. As here we are. Another attempted overtake from Corey. Although once again, Men's defence hard to the inside. Can Corey hold it around the outside here? Men's has given him the room. And finally, maybe this could be it. Corey's been working so hard to get past Men's. But still, Men's fights it. And there we are. Corey finally makes the move stick. Yellow flag. Who was that? That was Griffiths. Griffiths has spun going onto the start-finish train. I don't know how he's managed that. Because it's usually very, very hard to spin these F2 cars, but that's crucial because Griffiths is running in a very strong position. With that spin, is now really going to be struggling. Got down to P10, and that's pretty much any contention of a podium finish gone for him. He's now tucked up behind SLR Nash, and ahead of Owen, who of course had that incident in turn 1. Griffiths, though, lunging up the inside of Mash. They're going to go side by side here. Griffiths looks like he's got the better run through the corner. He's going to have the outside line, so he's going to be able to get on the power earlier. And yes, he does. He gets ahead of Mash. And can Owen make the move as well? Looks like he might be able to. But I'm going to go on board with Ham here, because this is the battle for P2, which could potentially be the battle for P1 with UK Beast Assassin's penalty. Ham feinted to the outside, going around the outside and Stowe. And it's an easy move before the end of the DRS straight. I think surely Corey here has got to be sniffing a potential podium as well. Corey does not just settle for P2, P3, P4. He wants every single position he can get. And at the moment is the fastest car on track. There's a yellow flag. Keeps on being yellow flags. There's lots of people making mistakes. I think that was SLR Toto Wolf. Oh, Owen's gone! Owen's gone again! That's a massive moment from Owen there. He gets a 10-second time penalty for his troubles as well. Oh, he's gone off again! This has been a race to forget, I have to say, from Owen Howe 36. Down in P14, but he's still got one race to go, and we'll be starting that race from inside the top 10. So you never know. And more battling here. Power and Dodgy, Southerner and Men's. Battle for P5 and P6, battle for P7 and P8. Southerner, can he hold it around the outside of Men's? We know that Men's has been a very, very tough customer when it comes to trying to overtake. And once again, they're leaving each other a good amount of racing room. I think Men's has damage. I think that's his issue. He has damage, but he is still able to keep ahead. Further behind, Southerner and Merckx have had a change of positions. Merckx has gone off. Merckx has gone off, dropped down to P12. So something's happened there. I don't know whether they've made contact or whether Merckx has had a moment, and that's why Darnell's overtaken him. But here we go. Southerner round the outside of Men's. Going for the up and under, and it looks like Southerner has got the position. So Southerner moves his way up into P5 from pretty much the back of the field. That is an excellent recovery. That is a superb recovery as Corey sets the fastest lap of the race once again. I'm going to have a look at UK Beast Assassin's times, see what they're doing. 39.8. What about... So Corey closed in by 0.4 of a second. Gap to leader for Corey is... hang on a second. 4.3 seconds. So he closes in at this rate. Corey could be on for a race win here. Oh, Southerner and Men swap positions again. Did Southerner have a moment there? Might have done. But this is going to allow Men's to potentially get past him. And it's going to allow Para to get involved too. We know that Para loves to make a little dive, a little lunge. He's going to be smelling blood here. The two ahead of him run wide. Para jinks to the outside. Is he going to be able to do the switchback? Is he going to be able to get the better line? Men's might be going for it as well. But here comes Para Quicks. Oh, he makes contact with Men's and Men's goes off. Men's has spun around with contact with Para Quicks. that's not what I wanted to see. It's hard to really say who is at fault for that one. But yeah, I cannot imagine that Men's is too pleased. Power's moved up into P6. So here we are, Corey. He's got another person on his hit list. Can Corey win this race? I mean, it's definitely possible. He is currently in P4, and once again, is he going to set pretty much fastest lap of the race? He's close. But he is closing in on Beast, and that is the main thing. He's going to be eyeing up Division now. And if he can make this move cleanly, potentially close up to Ham, and then maybe close up to Beast as well. It's going to be a tough fight for Corey, but he is looking seriously quick. So here we are, the Trident team driver. Can he get Division in the earliest possible opportunity? Thinking about it. Going down the inside is Corey. And Division probably knows it's not his race. Doesn't fight it. And Corey moves up the position. And can now set after SLR Ham. He's not going to have many laps to do it, but if Corey absolutely sends this, he could get the race victory. Oh, sweating for F2. How could you, Corey? No. Anyway. This is indeed the sprint race. Feature will be on after this one. But I'm going to focus now on SLR Corey, as really I think this is the main action, this is the main question mark, is can Corey do enough to close in on UK Beast Assassin and SLR Ham? There's going to be 3 laps to go after this one, and I'm going to check Beast lap at the end of this lap to see how much Corey is closing in by, because he's clearly catching. Beast has done a 139.7, it's a PB. Ham's on a 39.7, Corey's on a 39.3. Fastest lap of the race again. So he's looking to get those bonus points. And he's also looking to get the race victory. I'm going to go back to leader. Corey gains massively on Beast in that traction zone. Seriously, seriously quick at the moment is SLR Corey. Potentially the battle between him and Ham. But yeah, potentially can he get up to be able to have a battle with Ham? It looks like Ham is going to finish ahead of Beast, as it looks like the two of them are kind of setting pretty similar sectors here at the moment, but it's about how high Corey can get. Sending it through cops here. Looks like Beast has picked up the pace a little bit more. You just know that Corey is pushing very, very hard. It's getting quite a bit in the middle sector. He's up on his previous lap, so still setting PB sectors after PB sectors is SLR Corey. Fastest on trackers. SLR Toto Wolf has had another spin. Already not having fun at all. But here we are. Corey once again, it's another fastest lap. Gap's now down to 3.2 for the race lead. It's going to be tough for Corey to get Ham, I think. Oh, Darnell sets the fastest lap as well. Darnell, not with the aid of DRS either. Sets the fastest lap that's quicker than Corey's. That is going to be a very, very good sign for the race if those two are that evenly matched. You have a look at their fastest laps. It's just 200s between them. And so with those, it's going to be so close when it comes to the actual race. Of course, they're both starting on the front row together. Darnell will get those extra bonus points for finishing in the top 10 and getting the fastest lap as well, so it's the yellow flag again, that is Owen. But yeah, But yeah, Corey versus Darnell is a very interesting one, as Corey has a little bit of a moment there, potentially lost him some time, as he has now got within that 3 seconds apiece. But it does look like Ham is going to be too late for the Trident driver, as Darnell is setting off after Dodgy as well. He's got on the DRS, and after that lap 1 incident, I don't know what happened to him, but he had a moment in lap 1 and dropped way down at the back. Darnell is potentially going to get Dodgy here. He does have a time penalty to Darnell, so it's not going to really affect his position overall, but for pride, really, he's going to want to get the move on SLR Dodgy. Oh, I say that, but the SLO moment there, that was very, very fortunate, as it could have potentially dropped him out of the points. You get top points to top 8, as well as the fastest lap point, of course. And so with that spin, potentially could have dropped himself behind Griffiths even. But here we are now. The battle for what is going to be the effective race lead. Corey is going to get DRS off Ham, but I don't think it's going to be enough unless Ham makes a mistake here in this final sector. Corey is going to be absolutely sending it, as I know he'll want this race win, but it looks like the race victor is going to be SLR Ham. UK Beast Assassin has driven an excellent race as we get the position changes, up 6 positions. But it looks like your race winner, once penalties are taken into account, is going to be Ham. Perhaps one more lap and we could have had a bit of a fight here between Corey and Ham. But coming across the line in first position is UK Beast Assassin. But your race winner is going to be SLR Ham. Corey gets an excellent P2 from starting from P10 with the fastest lap at the end to boot. Division comes home in P4, Southern out in P5 from the back of the grid. Excellent recovery from him. Power in P6, very, very exciting. Darnell did pass Dodgy at the end, but loses out because of penalties. Griffiths with his spin will come home in P9. And Merckx is going to round off the top 10. Although I do believe that Mash is going to finish ahead of him. Is he? No, he's not. He's going to be 5 thousandths of a second behind. The vote comes home in P12, and then Mint, Owen, Jam, and Toto Wolff are going to be the drivers rounding out the top 10. That's pretty good. Pretty decent race. And now it's time to do it all over again. As there we are, finally the F1 music comes on to acclaim SLR Ham as the race winner. As there we are, the 3 podium finishers spray their champagne. And Ham is claimed as the race winner. Pretty good race, that one. as Corey will get 14 points. Darnell only gets 1 after his moment. And so far this weekend, Corey is the highest point scorer. Ham in P2. But now we've got to do it all over again for the feature race. Yeah, there we go. Onto the main race. Shut Medal has just got in. And yeah, who is going to win then? And who is going to start on what tyres? That is the question. Corey's on medium, Darnell's on medium, Biffris selected hards at the moment. Yeah, who's going to change? You have to do a mandatory pit stop, but you have to serve it in the first, I believe in the first 3, after the first 3 laps, I want to say, because it is initially after the first 6 laps in real F2. However, with a 50% race, that distance is cut in half, otherwise it'd be kind of ridiculous doing half the race. And yeah, it looks like people have awarded Driver of the Day to... Looks like people have awarded Driver of the Day to the driver of SLR Southerner from going from 15th to 5th. Can he do better than that in this sprint feature race? That is the question. Let's see what's going to happen. And there we are, 10 seconds until we start the race. Gonna have the formation lap first, and then we're gonna be onto the race. Tyres selection, Corey's gone mediums, Darnell, Griffiths, Beast all gone hards, and Hatton Jam's gone mediums. So it's a lot of people going hards here, so Corey has got to get the burners on straight away and then use that medium tyre advantage to make his way into a strong position before, of course, the drivers behind him come into the pits for their mandatory stop. They will obviously have to serve their pit stops after him due to being on the harder compound tyre. And yeah, definitely going to add some intrigue to this race, I think. Jam's going to be quick off the line, that is for sure. But yeah, what can Corey do on those mediums from pole position? It looked like Corey and Darnell had pretty similar pace. So if that translates over to the main race, then potentially you could have the kind of race where they sort of converge. At the end of it. Corey could get a pretty quick start, gain some time, put on the hards, and then Darnell can start reeling him in by the end of the race. And of course, there could be safety cars as well. We had no retirements in the first race, so it's very unlikely that we'll see a safety car, but we could do. You never know. Yeah. Yeah, who's going to win? Corey, that's not the track, mate. Corey just drives off into the runoff to put some dirt in his tyres to give them more grip. As yeah, drivers now coming up towards Corey. Where are you going, Corey? Blood is lost. just. Oh, I'm really confused. But anyway, enough of that. Thank you, Corey, for that inspirational driving on the formation lap. I guess you driver of the day alone, to be honest, mate. Yeah, good stuff. Lights going to count down pretty shortly. I can hear them. 10 lights on your screen. They're out, and we are away. Who's got the better start out of the top four? It looks like Beast has got a pretty good start, and Corey's got an excellent one as well. As Griffiths and Darnell are going side by side through turn one. Who's going to make it through ahead? As further behind, it looks like Jam is potentially going to make a move on Beast as well, as it's yellow flag in sector one, and that is Owen that's gone again. Owen has gone at turn one. Two races in a row. That is an absolute stinker start for Owen. As there's a yellow flag still being called for his car, but Corey gets the start that he needed on those medium compound tyres. As further behind, there looks to be people making moves. Division side by side, but that's a lot dodgy. Hello, Division. Can he get the position? Looks like he will. Division up into P6 on those medium compound tyres. As further behind, there's absolute pandemonium. Gonna ride on board with Paraquix as he loves making moves, I know that much. Paraquix around the outside of a vote replay. Now Southerner's going to look to try and get on the action as well. Backs out a bit as Menz once again runs really wide, and could there be an opportunity for Para? Menz is going to be getting a bit of a run on Merckx here, so these guys potentially go 3 wide here. Para's going to be... He's really, really quick at the moment. It looks like the gap's sort of opened out, but then it closes. As Merckx and Menz battling out, but Para sneaks around the outside. What a move from Paraquix. That was an excellent move. Up into P9 as Corey sets the fastest lap of the race, as he has gapped Darnell. He's gapped the second. And that has got to be crucial for Corey's race. It does look like the hards are considerably slower than the mediums. This Jam is looking a lot quicker than the Griffiths and Darnell at the moment. Griffiths does have a bit of better pace in the race at the moment. This is the yellow flag again. That is Mash. As here we are. Is that a dive bomb from Para? That's sort of quite late. It looks like Menz just about gives him enough run, and Para can't quite make the move. But Para's going to potentially have a decent bit of run on Menz here. They made contact here in the sprint race. Are they going to make contact here in the feature? No, they are not. Para's looking really racy on the mediums. And is he going to potentially make the move here? Is he going to try and make the move into Maggots and Becketts? That would be bold. Potentially a bit foolish. But no, he's going to sit behind him. But he is going to get the better run here. Exeter Chapel. Can Paraquix do a bit of a dive bomb and get his move on JD Menz. Menz is going to defend the inside, but the Para sneaks on the inside. Oh, but they've made contact. Menz has kind of turned in on him a bit there, I think. I think the move was on, and Para is half spun down to 13th. Personal opinion, I would put the blame on Menz there, if I'm being honest. As I do feel like Para was alongside enough to be given run, but it's all just speculation and just an unfortunate incident. up towards the front, and Darnell looks to have got the edge on Griffiths here a bit. So Darnell, as the lead hard runner, is certainly looking like he's got the pace over Griffiths, and Griffiths is going to be looking more of his mirrors, if anything, to the Campos car of SLR Jam. Darnell, I think, went a bit wide there, I think, but doesn't really affect him at all. As here we are, SLR Jam has this time got the run on Griffiths. Griffiths defensively inside. Can Jam brake later? Can Jam hold around the outside? No, I don't think he can. Thought about it, but could not make the move. It's further behind. Ham and Merckx battling side by side, the two ART cars. And Ham gets the position over his teammate. It's further ahead. Griffiths has lost the second. I did say that Darnell was being a bit quicker at this phase of the race, and that is certainly coming to fruition as now Jam is going to have a lot easier job of trying to overtake him. As Griffiths, oh, he does have DRS, so he did just about get DRS. So maybe not, but can't imagine it'll be long before Griffiths does lose that DRS. And Jam could potentially make the move. But it is still probably a 5-horse fight for the win here, though, because all it needed a mistake from Corey, and these guys are going to be right in it. And I think the hard runners are, at some point, going to begin to close in on Corey. As you can have a look, there's a lot of graining on his tyres. You see the marks on them. So if you have a look at... Oh, Darnell still has the same kind of markings, so both of them are worn a decent amount. But yeah, the mediums will be wearing at a higher rate to the hard compound tyres, and so that'll allow Corey to allow Darnell to perhaps begin to close in at some point soon. Oh, as Griffiths has a bit of a moment there ahead of Jam. He's definitely lost DRS now. Corey sets the fastest lap of the race, so I was chatting absolute honk. Griffiths is indeed, but yeah, Corey is indeed still going reasonably quickly. As now Jam is going to have a bit of a run on Griffiths here. Can he finally get his man? The mediums still look decent. Just going by Corey's fastest lap. But Jam, he cannot get past Griffiths. Cannot make the move. As wow, this is seriously close stuff. UK Beast Assassin is sitting in the wings as well, so potentially if these two come to blows, Beast could be the beneficiary, as Ham's made the move on Men's here. Wow, Ham making the moves, but Men's keeps it on the inside. That was an excellent battle as well. You don't know where to look. As here we are, has Jam finally made the move on Griffiths? No, Griffiths does break later than him. But can Jam hold it around the outside? He stays on the track. Is Toby going to break later than him? He does. Oh, can he hold it? Oh, they make contact. Toby tried to keep it up his inside. And Jam does keep that position. Very, very hard racing, that is for sure, between those drivers. This is the yellow flag. There is that Jamie Menz. Jamie Menz has had a moment after the battle with, I believe it was Ham. Jamie Menz and Ham have both gone off, actually. So they must have made contact. I must have completely missed that. Wow. Wow, Menz and Ham are now suddenly out of the points, but that might not be for long, as Ham's going to go at the inside of shot medal. Does he make the move stick? Yes, he does. But yeah. After that, I do expect the race to settle down until we get the pit stops. Although UK Beast Assassin and BRT Griffiths are looking pretty close here. Does show that Griffiths still have a pretty good pace, despite being hounded by Jam that much, if he can keep the beast like this. So potentially we could see a move from the Charus driver. It's going to be quite a task. It's Ham and that's Ham's lost his wing. Hang on. Not sure how that's happened, but Ham has lost his entire front wing. You're going to need to be pitting at the end of this lap, that is for sure. As Corey ahead is still pulling away from Darnell. It does look really good for Corey, but Darnell is going to have that medium tyre stint to enjoy. And when is Corey going to pit here? Oh! As Griffiths lands it up the inside of Beast Assassin. Griffiths gets a position. Do they both have DRS here? No, Griffiths is the only one that has DRS. But Beast does have a bit higher straight line speed. And can he perhaps get the move back? Now Griffiths takes the position and moves back up into P4. Probably means he hasn't actually lost an awful lot from that contact with Jam, as he was going to be behind him anyway, so yeah, he's really only lost about half a second from that. Net. As the mediums have not fallen off the way that I would have expected them to. Still on lap 7, and Corey still has very strong pace. Jam, if anything, is kind of keeping with, if not closing in on Southerner. As now, here we are, Beast versus Griffiths, part 2. These two have had history in this division. Is this battle going to continue? I can't imagine they're going to be very polite with each other, that is for sure. As Corey comes into the pits. UK Beast Assassin and Darnell are both coming in as well. Darnell's coming at the same lap as Corey. Wow. That's interesting. Just going to keep an eye on these guys' pit stops as Jam now takes the lead. But perhaps a little bit of a ploy from Darnell and Beast to perhaps hold up Corey slightly, as obviously you get held up. No, because Corey's really late in the pit lane, so he is not going to be held up by any of the moving cars. But wow, that is really interesting. Darnell mirroring Corey, pitting on the same lap despite being on the harder compound tyre. As this warm-up is going to be ghastly for Corey now. He just about gets out ahead of Mash, and that could be crucial here. But he's got to warm up his tyres ASAP, as now Mercs and Dodgy battling out. These two are usually very, very clean, just in general, so I'm expecting a good battle here. Mercs doesn't think to put it up his inside there. That would have been very, very risky. It does look like Dodgy is keeping the position. But yeah, here we go now. Can Darnell close in on Corey with those near medium tyres? Can Mercs make his mark and get past SLR Dodgy? He's got the DRS enabled as Mercs. He's going to be trying it here. Is he going to make the move here? No, he's not. That would have been very, very aggressive if he'd have tried it. As they're both going to take this battle into the pit lane. So it's now going to be a battle of the pit crews here, as they're going in one after each other. This could be an interesting one to watch. I don't usually watch pit stops, but I'm quite excited at this one. who is going to be the driver in the first box. Merck's in the first box, so potentially Dodgy could have to be held for him. Merck's has now changed his tyres. And Dodgy does get out ahead of him. As the yellow flag in sector 3, that is a vote replay. And he's had a spin. Still no retirements, though. Very good stuff, F2. This is very, very good. Very clean racing from everyone to avoid crashing or anything like that. Or, as I say that, Evoker's now retired in the pits. That's a shame. I enjoyed having that no retirement streak for everyone in F2. It was good. But we do now have one retiree in Evoke replay. There's now SLR Southerner and Para Quicks. They're continuing their battle out of the pits. Obviously, Para is on those hards after starting on the mediums, and this is where he's going to start to feel the pain. The Southerner's looking very, very quick. Behind him, as is the other flag in sector 1, that's just Evoke's car. But here we are, Southerner and Para. They're going to go side by side into cops here. Who's going to be bravest here? Southerner's going to try and hold it around the outside. They avoid contact and Southerner gets the position. What a move. Very, very respectable racing between the two of them, and Southerner keeps the position. He's going to flag in sector 1 and sector 2. That's just a couple of different incidents. Oh, so I got just on a ball with SLR Corey because it was closing in on JD Menz. He nearly drops it out of the final corner. As Darnell sets the fastest lap, so Darnell's got some serious pace on his new tyres. Corey needs to make the pass Menz ASAP here, really. As soon as he possibly can. Because any second that he's going to be stuck behind JD Menz is going to be a second where he cannot do anything but just be closed in by Darnell. You can see from Darnell's screen that Corey is the next car ahead. See Corey feinting to the left and to the right. He's going to need to get past Menz as soon as he possibly can. Menz has go a bit deep here. And Corey, is he going to be able to hold out the inside here? Ooh, he's trying it. It's going to be very, very tight. Is Menz going to fight this? You bet he is. It makes a bit of contact with Corey, but Corey muscles his way through and up into P4. That's a crucial move, that, from Corey. He needs to get there as soon as he possibly could, and he does so. Up into P4. As now Griffiths finally pits. I think Griffiths and Jam were kind of holding out for a safety car, really. I think Jam still is, to be honest. But yeah, Griffiths then gave up his hope of the safety car. Has his shut medal as well. But the Menz are still going. Trying to kind of piggyback off Corey's DRS, I think, here. As Darnell lost an awful lot of time in sector 3 there. Don't know what happened to Darnell. Did he have a moment there? I missed that, but he's lost an awful lot of time to Menz. Kind of look at his telemetry just to see whether he's still controlling his car. Yeah, it looks like he is. So I think that was just a mistake from Darnell. I was wondering whether he had potentially wheel issues or something. But I think he is all good. Darnell is carrying along. But he's lost about a second to Corey from that mistake, so could that give Corey a little bit of a break he needs as Ham has now lost it. Ham has had a spin. It'd be kind of perfect poetic irony if Ham would be the person who crashed to bring out the safety car to help Jam, but that safety car has not come, and Jam now eventually pits. He's going to have hard tyres that are going to be not really have any opportunity to have any real. He's going to be on hard tyres. Is Jam? And where will he come out? That is the question. was in, I believe it was P3, but with Darnell's mistake, could Jam potentially get ahead of him? I'm not sure. Look, Darnell goes past, so it's going to be very close between Jam and Beast. It's going to be fairly close between Jam and Griffiths as well. Griffiths, with those mediums, with those fresh mediums, has made the undercut work and move up into P4. Southern has found his way into P6 here as well. Does have a penalty, but I think these guys behind him, 4 of them to be exact, they're going to be fighting very, very hard here. I could potentially allow Southern to get that gap as Merc sends it up the inside of Dodgy. All fair there. This Division is now battling with Para, and this is a great scrap here for the lower points faces. They're going 2 by 2 Noah's Ark into the corner, side by side. Division looks to have got the position, but he's still battling out with Para. Para's still going to be holding it. But Division does get the position. As now Mercs is potentially going to try and make a move on Para on his medium tyres. They are fresher as well. So here we are, Mercs around the outside. Oh, makes a bit of contact with Para. That wasn't great, but Dodgy, that allows Dodgy to swoop through. Is he going to try and hold it with Para as well? They make a little bit of contact, but they're just about fine as they're now going to continue their battle. This is great stuff. This is really entertaining. And they're going 3 wide here. Oh, be careful, guys. Be careful. Looks like Dodgy has got the position, and we'll move up into P8. Para is still going to try and hold it. Oh, but he keeps his nose in there. And that allows Mercs to get through. Oh, as Para's had a spin. Para has had a spin. He is not facing the right way. He is rejoining the track. And that battle is sadly over. This race has just been full of pretty clean battles, and then someone makes contact with somebody and then the battle is over. But a battle that certainly won't be over is the battle between Dodgy and Mercs. Mercs are closing in on him. And with just 2 laps to go after this one, he's going to have to get through pretty quickly as Para has spun again. Clearly not enjoying himself after that incident. As he gets a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits as well. Oh no. But yeah, Mercs 47 in the DRS of SLR Dodgy. And can he make this move by the end of the race? Dodgy really needs to close up to the Division here if he wants to protect himself, as Griffiths sets the fastest lap as well. So Griffiths closing in on UK Beast Assassin, potentially for the final podium spot. Mercs had a bit of a moment there, and Dodgy does get into the DRS. So could that be Mercs' opportunity of getting Dodgy's position gone? I think it might be. As now I'm looking at BRT Griffiths, and Griffiths has the fresher medium compound tyres to try and close in on UK Beast Assassin. The gap is now less than a second. So can the Charus driver get through and mount an attack on the Campos man? The gap is less than a second, so he will get a nice little help in a DRS as well. And with those 3 lap fresher tyres, could this potentially be on here? Purple Sector 2, DRS is enabled. It's going to gain him even more speed as we're entering the final lap. Yeah. Yeah, Griffiths pushing really, really hard here. Does he set another fastest lap in the boot? To boot? Yes, he does. Absolutely flying here. And now on the last lap, can BRT Griffiths close up to UK Beast Assassin and get a nice little podium after a pretty solid race. Power picks up a time penalty, so that's probably about 20 seconds of penalties for Power after that 10-second penalty, but whatever. But yeah, Griffiths is really closing in on Power. On Beast, sorry. The gap is 0.5 of a second. It's all going to be who has the best Magnus Beckerson Chapel on this final lap. One lap more, and Griffiths definitely would have got this, I think. But is it just one lap too late for him? Beast has a little bit of a wobble. Is this going to open it up? Is it going to open it up for Griffiths? Beast defends to the inside. Can Griffiths on the final lap make the loose stick? Going into Stowe. They're going to go side by side here. Beast breaks a bit later, but is that going to allow Griffiths to get a decent bit of a run? They're going to go side by side into the final couple of corners. Corey will be crossing the line to be the winner, but who's going to be the final person on the podium? Griffiths completely stops. It's completely shoved off track, but does get the position on Beast. As Beast gets it on the line. Beast does eventually get it on the line. I don't know whether Griffiths led him back through after overtaking off track, but it remains to be seen. But the UK Beast Assassin does claim P3. Corey and Darnell are 1-2, and Beast is the final spot on the podium. Griffiths in P4 with an excellent scrap up towards the line. Jam in P5, Souther in P6, Dodgy in P7, Mercs in P8, Division in P9, and Men's in P10. Actually, is it? Yes, it is. Men's does get P10. I'm just waiting to see who the top 3 drivers of the entire weekend are. And then I'll get them in the party for a little bit of a chit-chat. As we're now watching the final few runners come up, as Power goes. Okay, Power. Power has 36 seconds of penalties. As Owen spun. Oh my god. Oh my god. Good stuff from Power and Owen. Owen is going to end the race in the pit lane. Power is going to end the race with no Wayne driving off track permanently. Wow, good stuff. What a race. Corey is your race winner, Darnell is your P2 finisher, and Beast is your P3 finisher. So there we are, SLR Corey is your race winner. But yeah, and let's have a look at the overall results on the weekend. It is Corey first, Beast second, Darnell third. Cool, class. Let's go, that's class. Get them in the party. Hi.
Hello there.
Hello. Just waiting for the others. didn't realise you got fastest lap as well. Interesting.
No, sorry, my language. I sent it at the end.
Oh my god, language! Ban you from streaming and everything. Oh no.
Top Corey.
Oh, hello, mate. Hello, lads.
Hello,
Just the
everybody.
cooldown room.
Hi.
This is the cooldown room. Do you want to vent any frustrations at anything in the cooldown room, or
Yes.
do you want to just have the most awkward chat in the world?
Min is
about
a clown.
this?
Min is a clown. I repeat, Min is a clown.
I had a nice battle
No.
with him.
I have nothing to say. All I have is a public apology to Mercs47 for the disastrous destruction I caused him in this sprint. That's all I have to say.
I saw he was in a wall when you were going side by side. I didn't know what happened. But...
I was behind him, and kind of on the exit of cops, I was a bit too quick out of the corner, and I ended up just rinsing him into the barriers and sending him over it. Really.
Oh god. Anyway, yeah. I think it was Darnell third, Beast second, Corey first overall. I believe it was points wise. So yeah, starting off with you. That's all, Darnell. Missed out on pole by half a tenth, and then I don't know what went on in the sprint, but we saw you were quite low down. You managed to recover to a single point, and then feature looked like it was going to be an interesting race between you and Corey. You probably had a relatively similar pace, but looked like Corey had a little bit too much for you today. So you happy with your overall results? Like, kind of talk us through it.
Overall, I'm probably not happy when I look at the points because it's only like 19 points. Who knows if I'm keeping that point in the sprint? I don't know. But the qualifying was good. I mean, took the front. Obviously, Crispy wasn't here, so kind of front row was the aim. And then I saw Corey's name pop up towards the end, and I was like, nah, not again. But it happened. The sprint was just absolutely just terrible. Like the first lap, I kind of outbraked myself at Village, and then spun on the loop. It was just a disaster. And the feature, just Corey was just on another level, to be honest. I don't know if I started on the same tyre, I don't know if it could have made it harder for him by being in his DRS all race, but yeah, he was just too quick. So P2, I've taken the feature for sure, but points wise, especially compared to Corey, it's not great.
Obviously you do end up closing in on Crispy after his absence, but yeah, I believe that does now put Corey in the lead of the championship and closes your gap to Crispy a bit. So yeah, how do you feel about making it a three-way fight? I know that after the early parts of the season, when you were way off after a couple of less than ideal rounds, you're pretty much given up, but now things are a bit closer. You had a couple of good races, most notably I think it was it Spain? You had a really strong race, and like, how do you feel for the rest of the season? Do you think you can make it a three-way fight? Do you think it's going to be a three-way fight down to the flag? Obviously, you were Crispy's closest challenger last season, so how do you feel with that?
It could be. I think Crispy and Corey are both a tad bit quicker than me, but some races I feel like I've got the edge on them, like in terms of race pace. But yeah, I tend to find myself quite a way back points wise, and then I claw it back and then lose it again. It's like a never-ending circle. Yeah, I mean, I'll try. Put it that way. Yeah, I just need to just stay as consistent as possible, really. I think that's just the key to winning any championship. I mean, like, take my brother, for example. He won Div 1, the old Div 1, or Div 2, whatever it was. He won that by winning one race, so championships are won by consistency, and that's what I ultimately need to work on. And then just pick up on their mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. But decent result from yourself today, anyway. Third best point scorer, so reasonably solid.
Thank you.
And yeah, Beast. Well, obviously we saw you win the sprint on track. Obviously, you've got the penalty, which dropped you back a bit, and then a pretty decent feature race. You did just about clinch the podium in the last corner. Very close stuff between you and Griffiths in particular. So how do you feel about your results? I think that's two P3s, so pretty consistent stuff, and yeah, some solid points for yourself. So how do you feel with your races?
Yeah, the sprint was alright. Should have got a good start. Got myself in a decent position ahead of all the fast guys, and then just had, I don't know who it was, left to overtake. Yeah, got myself in the lead.
Division,
then,
I think it was.
Yeah, division. Yeah, and then got myself a pen. Stupidly, that put me back behind Ham and the sweat. And then yeah, the feature again, pretty much the same. Kept up with the aliens, and then just about held off Toby, who, fair play to him, sort of let me back through into the final corner. I didn't earn the place back. I think it was a bit of a tussle into club, which meant that he sort of give it back. But yeah, overall pretty decent. Just finally, I think Corey should actually touch grass.
Yeah. I think we all think that, to be honest. But yeah, still solid results from yourself. And kind of generally like bit of a dark horse in the championship fight. Always seem to be relatively up there. How do you feel with your chances in the next few rounds?
It's,
in general,
like Joe said, it's consistency, and I'm consistently there or thereabouts. But when you've got Corey consistently doing 12 hours a week of F2 practice, it's pretty difficult, you know.
yeah,
It's just tears. It's just tears.
yeah, fair enough.
Right, though,
well done on your results today, anyway. Well done on your results.
Cheers.
And now Corey. Firstly, touch grass, and secondly, how do you feel? Both fastest laps, pole, P2 in the sprint, and P1 in the feature, so it couldn't have gone much better. I think only 3 missed out points in total at the weekend, puts you in the championship lead. So, how do you feel?
I think definitely with Crispy's absence, I was just looking to try and take the championship lead back, but I can be very happy with this weekend. And if anything, this is the least I've sweated for an F2 race, believe it or not. But I think qualifying obviously went ideal. Just about got Joe right at the end. I noticed after, I think, going into sector 2, I was about 2 tenths down on him. So that was a good start. The sprint looks like I missed out on the chaos that happened at turn 3. Now, hopefully I don't see the stewards this week. That'll be a first. But yeah, it kind of went ideal, getting P2 in the end with Lisa's penalty. And then in the feature, I was just able to pull away from Joe at the start because he went for the alternate strategy. And then it just seemed like I was able to match his pace near enough while I was on the hards, and just about got fastest lap at the end as well, as you said. So again, couldn't have asked for a better weekend, really.
Yeah, and with that championship lead after Crispy missing this race, do you think? We know that. Do you think that you are now perhaps the favourite, or do you still think that the way the season's gone at the moment, it's going to be a tough fight with Crispy? How do you feel the rest
I
of the
definitely
season?
don't think I'm the favourite at the moment. I think, again, there's like 11 rounds left. There's 2 triple formats. For all we know, anyone who's not even in the top 6 in the championship can still win it. If anything crazy happens, again, me, Crispy, or Joe, or anyone could just miss a weekend or have a bad weekend like some of us had this season. It could bring anyone back into play. So, again, we've just got to wait and see.
Well done to yourself for very, very good results this weekend, and that's all we got time for. So yeah, F2 had a stream this week, yay! With pretty decent race, I thought. There was some really, really good racing actually. We didn't actually get a single retirement from a crash in either race. I think there was only 1 retirement in total. So well done to all of the drivers for that in 2 different races. That is always what we'd like to see. Some good, nice, clean battling. Some enjoyable races, and yeah, that was a pretty decent watch. Thank you all for watching, and please join us again for hopefully another stream this weekend. Head of streaming, make sure that we get a stream. Thank you, and good night.